Let's bring in former Trump campaign Deputy Communications Director Caroline Sunshine and former GOP national spokeswoman Elizabeth Pipko. Thank you both for coming on. The Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Democrats won't even negotiate. Here he is.
What makes it even worse is they are now saying they don't even want to sit down and talk after they had agreed to the very bill that they are now opposing and are now opposing even sitting down and talking and negotiating on the things they say they want. Explain that one.
A lot of people hot over this, Caroline.
Yeah, usually I'm upset with the Democrats for obstructing President Trump's immigration agenda, but today actually my ire is directed at Leader Thune himself, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of the MAGA base when I say that. We don't feel that Senator Thune is doing enough to pass the SAVE Act in the Senate. The president's been really clear this is one of his top priorities, and he expects Congress to just get it done. I mean, President Trump's getting other things done. He doesn't have a problem moving dirt. It seems like Senator Thune is really dragging his feet on this. I mean, nothing's more important than making sure illegal immigrants can't vote in our elections. If you have to show an ID to shovel snow in Zohran Mamdani's New York City, you need to show an ID to vote. And again, the president and his base are very clear. We want to get this done. We know you can get it done. And we feel that Leader Thune's just continuing to kind of make excuses and drag his feet. And then also today we heard that the White House was on Capitol Hill are meeting with Republicans, telling them to stop talking about the president's mass deportations on the campaign trail. That's just confusing because that's one of the president's most popular policies. 60% of Americans want those mass deportations.
That's right.
Why wouldn't we talk about that?
That's exactly right. That's exactly what the people want. Meantime, you had the House Speaker Mike Johnson saying this about the New York City attack and the DHS shutdown. Watch.
2 terrorists nearly killed dozens of people with bombs. And the agency of the government that is specifically tasked with defending our homeland from exactly those types of threats is currently shut down, thanks to Democrats in Congress.
And it's common knowledge, Elizabeth Pipko, that the people in Iran, the leaders that are left in Iran, are threatening these types of terrorist attacks inside the U.S. homeland.
They are, and they're doing that, and they're able to do that and have as much confidence as they have. I have to point this out because of the failed leadership of Joe Biden, who allowed millions of unvetted individuals into our country that we now understand are threats. We have proof that many that came in are Iranian nationals. We have proof of many that came in who have, thank God, now been arrested that have ties to Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations. This is a major, major problem. Shame on those in New York who don't want to point out exactly what happened with this attack over the weekend. Shame on the media who doesn't want anyone to know what's going on in a socialist-run New York City because they would rather side with terrorists than tell the American people the truth.
And I want to show just focus on these pictures on the right-hand side of your screen while we go to the next subject here, because Senator John Kennedy going after the director of the immigration studies at the Cato Institute. Watch this back and forth. Think of the pictures, and then we'll get back to it. Watch.
You said, quote, if you rule against Trump's population purge agenda, no hyperbole there, the nativists will name you, threaten you, and come after you.
When I talk about population purge, I'm talking about the fact that they're trying to deport U.S.-born citizens.
Well, what planet did you just parachute in from?
No. Hey, guys.
You trigger my gag reflex, Mr. Beer.
I mean, it's a fair comment because the guy, it's okay. Your turn. Go ahead.
I love Senator Kennedy, especially lately. I've always found him to be one of the funniest members of Congress, but lately I've thought that his lines of questioning and these hearings, he's been really effective, I think, on behalf of what the MAGA base, represents. And again, I would just go back to when you hear today that the White House is directing Congress to stop talking about these mass deportations. That whole exchange shows you why it's so important that we do continue these mass deportations, because it's very clear that Democrats intend on taking power back, that they intend on trying very hard to win these midterms. You're not going to win the midterms by stopping talking about mass immigration. The American people are not soft or squishy on that issue, but it's very clear that if we don't continue, Democrats are intent on now then using the power that, if they gain it back, to fully continue obstructing this agenda, and they'll have much more leeway to do so.
And it makes them feel like they're winning. It makes the Democrats feel like they're winning. Here is the Democrats going after Trump and the war in Iran. Elizabeth, watch.
There seems to be no end game.
I'm not sure what the end game is or what their plans are. They certainly have not made their case.
And so far, President Trump and the briefers from the Secretary Hegseth have not been clear about what the end game is.
Maybe they should listen to General Jack Keane, who just moments ago on this show kind of laid out exactly what the end game is, which is this precision assault on Iran. Your final thoughts on this, Elizabeth?
I'm sorry, Trace. I think they should listen to themselves. And I have to point this out because I am so sick of the hypocrisy. From Senator Rosen, I've always believed that Iran can never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. Senator Shaheen, we must counter aggression from Iran and its proxies whenever and wherever it appears. Senator Blumenthal, Iran's malign activities have been allowed to go on for far too long. These are their own words. And shame on anyone in this time when threats against Americans are at an all-time high, when we have armed men and women overseas risking everything for our country. Shame on anyone trying to divide us any further.
Yeah. Elizabeth, Caroline, thank you both.